Hi, marketing girlies. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Girly by Sky Society. Happy Tuesday, girls. I'm coming back with another solo episode, this time diving into a little checklist for you if you are feeling stuck on your job search, things to kind of audit in your application materials and your own personal brand that could potentially be having some red flags or just not allowing you to get the attention that you deserve from these hiring managers. So that's what I want to walk through with you girls today. I know the job market is super difficult. I know we're in a crazy time. I feel like we're always in crazy times. I feel like I'm waiting to get to a time when everyone's like, yeah, the world is normal and things are good. And it just feels like there's one crazy thing after another. And I know a lot of that also affects the job market. So I thought this would be a good episode to do today. And I'm excited to get into it. If you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, I'm in a different background today. I'm not in my normal office from home. Today, I'm actually at our new Austin office. I'm still trying to figure out where I will be recording my episodes. So, this is probably just a temporary situation because yeah, we're just still trying to figure it out. Ideally, in the Austin office, if you've been following us on Instagram, you've been seeing our office content, but we've got a lot of space here. So I'd love to have an actual podcast studio, like a legit podcast studio, like the one that you see me in when I'm recording with my guests. But for now, we're with the Blue Yeti microphone and my Logitech webcam and my normal laptop. So, honestly, still does the job just as good. So let's kind of get into it. Oh, one thing I did want to say before I jumped in is thank you to all of you who came to our Austin event last week to celebrate Sky Society's fifth birthday. It truly was a dream, and the fact that so many of you wanted to come and celebrate and support Sky Society and network and meet other marketing girlies, I really couldn't have asked for more. And I don't know why it always surprises me whenever we have an event that so many of you want to come, but I'm just so grateful for your support. So grateful that you girls resonate with Marketing Girly and the Marketing Girly community, and excited to hopefully do some more stuff like that. So, okay, let's get started with our topic for today, which is your little checklist that you're going to do if you're feeling a bit stuck in your job search, feeling like you're applying to jobs, you're feeling overlooked, and you're not getting seen. This is also super timely because we just started admissions for Sky Society Accelerator, which is our digital marketing program for women. That's the main thing we do at Sky Society is you have this accelerator program that helps women start their marketing careers by giving them real marketing experience. So I'm feeling like I'm already getting to hear from a lot of you the struggles that you're facing. So one thing I always like to recommend if you're feeling a bit stuck, the first place I want you to go to is actually your LinkedIn profile. If you are applying to jobs mainly on LinkedIn, you better have the best LinkedIn profile ever. Your LinkedIn profile better be even stronger than your resume because I promise you companies are looking at it, especially if you're applying to jobs on LinkedIn. So I want you to do just a quick scroll through. For today, since we're touching so many things, I can't like go through and give you as in-depth advice, but just I kind of want to let you know where you should put your eyes. So we'll start with LinkedIn. You've got your work experience is up to date. Okay. It matches what you have on your resume. It's not looking like you're lying on your resume because your LinkedIn is outdated. It's up to date. You have descriptions for all of your work experience. You've got an updated photo, headline, all of the things. Give your LinkedIn page a scroll and just make sure that it is full. Okay. It should be even more full than your resume. Your resume, you were limited to one page. Your LinkedIn profile, you are not. You can elaborate as much as you'd like. You could add links, featured content, media. There's so much you can do there. So make sure it's super full because that's so important. So take a look at your LinkedIn. After you look through your LinkedIn, I want you to go and take a look at your email. Okay. Do you have an email signature? Do you have a custom email signature? Does your email signature link out to your marketing portfolio and your LinkedIn profile? Does it tell that you are a digital marketer? Make sure that your email signature is professional. Make sure that you have a photo for your email. Make sure that your email is a professional email. If you are emailing with interviewers, you want to make sure you are showing up as your best self. So do a little audit there of your email. And then I want you to go, and now we're going to get to your resume. Okay. So you're looking at your resume, you're wondering, why is nobody calling me back for interviews? I feel like my resume looks good. What's wrong? So it can be a couple things. I'm going to rapid fire through some like basic high level edits that you want to make sure that you've made already. So your resume should be only one page. Your font size should be no smaller than 10 because it needs to be readable if it was printed. You should have at least 3 quantifiable metrics for every single work experience. You should have at least 10 plus actual numbers in your resume. You should have relevant experience for the jobs that you're applying to. So, if you are applying to marketing jobs, you should have some marketing experience on there. If you're applying to a job that's in social media, you should have social media experience on there. Make sure that you have that relevant experience there and make sure that your experience is ordered the correct way. It should be most recent to oldest. And if you want to kind of go above and beyond that, you have a skills section. Let's say you don't have a lot of strong experience, your skills section is super strong. So you have a lot of marketing tools that you've used, marketing hard skills, really, really trying to push your skills section as much as possible if you feel like your resume isn't as strong. If you are just using a resume that your career center gave you, like they gave you a resume template and you're using that and you just wrote about what you did, that is not enough. You need to make sure that your layout, your format matches the types of jobs that you want. You want to make sure that it has those KPIs, that it has that relevant experience, that you have those skills unique to the jobs that you are applying for, because they get hundreds of applications, okay? Every job's getting hundreds of applications, or most jobs are. So if you're gonna stand out, you're not gonna stand out with the same resume that everybody else is using. You need to make sure that yours actually stands out. And so those are some of my favorite things to just remind girls to check, and those can oftentimes help you a little bit if you're feeling a bit stuck. All right. The next thing that I want you to go to is your marketing portfolio. So, hopefully, you have a marketing portfolio. This is something that is so essential for marketing careers and helping you stand out and helping you really showcase the work that you've done. It's not only going to help you stand out when applying to jobs, but it's also going to help you negotiate for more money and more salary. So, those are so important to have. When you look at your marketing portfolio, I want you to make sure that unlike your resume, where your resume has to be ordered in chronological order, you can order your portfolio in order of what is most relevant to the jobs that you want. So, for example, if you are applying to influencer marketing jobs, then you want to make sure that your influencer marketing experience is at the top of your portfolio. And then you talk about your other experience like email, brand, social, etc. later on in your portfolio, because just like a landing page, not everybody's going to make it to the bottom of your portfolio. So, you want to make sure that your relevant experience that you want them to see is at the top. Also, for your marketing portfolio, you want to make sure, similar to your resume, that you have a lot of KPIs, that you have lots of visuals, and most importantly, that you don't have too much information. By far, the biggest mistake I see people make with their marketing portfolios, aside from it not being a professional aesthetic and layout, is that you wrote too much, is that you have too much. It's too busy. I don't know where to look. There's too much words here. I don't have time to read everything. It is about, I made so many episodes about this. We spend so much time in the accelerator talking about this, but it is about the average of the work that you complete, not the sum. All right. It's better to have fewer, stronger pieces than to have lots of pieces that are just okay. So keep that in mind. All right. For your portfolio. And then it's too, it's fun to give it a quick design refresh. I know in the accelerator, we are always updating our portfolio templates just because trends change and design trends change, and what's aesthetic now is different than what will be aesthetic in 6 months from now. I always think I was just watching home renovation shows with my little sister, and we used to grow up watching this. And I remember when subway tiles were the tile to put everywhere. You're remodeling your kitchen, we're doing subway tiles. You're remodeling your bathroom, we're doing subway tiles. We're putting subway tiles everywhere. And while subway tiles can still be cute, now we look at them and they're not the thing. What's the thing now? I feel like see people on TikTok putting subway tiles vertically instead of horizontally, and that's really trendy. Things are always changing, trends are always changing, and your design, your portfolio also matters. So you want to make sure that you are updating it, keeping it fresh, making sure that it is staying modern, because they're hiring you because they want you to be on top of what's going to work now within marketing, and your portfolio should also reflect that you are on top of it. So, a couple of quick things to check in your portfolio just to make sure things are good. Always recommend checking your links, spelling errors, all of that stuff. I would say that would bring me to my next point on the checklist, is to do a spelling audit everywhere. In the accelerator, when we do our resume lesson, we go over a stat about how much a spelling error turns off hiring managers and recruiters way more than you think. And I am so guilty for this. Like, I am the worst speller, but you want to make sure that you have everything's spelled correctly, okay? There's nothing misspelled on your LinkedIn profile, on your resume, your portfolio, your email signature. Everything is spelled correctly. This truly matters so much. Isn't it? It's hard when we're like editing things quickly and we're moving fast to miss different spell edits. So you can literally put it in a ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to do a grammar and spelling audit. You can ask a friend. There's really no excuse for you to have spelling or grammar errors. So just make sure you combed through everything with the fine-tune comb because the spelling errors do make an impact and they do matter. Okay, another thing you can audit that's a bit more uncomfy to audit, but that is important, is to Google your name. Okay, Google your name, first, last name, see what pops up. Make sure it's stuff that you like. I feel like this is like the old advice that you would get in college when, like, or sorry, maybe like elementary, middle school. Whenever Facebook came out, I don't know what time frame that was, of like your digital footprint is everywhere. That is true. So just give yourself a quick Google. Make sure that everything's looking good. No red flags come up. Sometimes you don't always do that. So it's good to just check. And then another thing that can be a little bit uncomfy, but that is important to check is your interview skills. So it's tough to get feedback on interviews because you can definitely ask the interviewer, but they don't always respond. And it's something that's happening in real time. So what I would recommend you do is you honestly, Google has a really awesome AI interviewer tool. There's a lot of like software tools out there like AI that do it. But I would recommend if you have a Mac, you just pull up Photo Booth, or if you have a laptop, you just pull up the camera app. And I want you to record yourself. I want you to mock ask yourself 3 questions. I want one of those questions to be tell me about yourself. And I want you to just say it back to the camera. And I actually want you to just watch yourself. Also, if it's easy, you can just do TikTok drafts. You can make a TikTok draft of you answering that question. We might not notice how often we say filler words, we don't make eye contact, we are rambling, and even just that act of rewatching yourself can be super eye-opening. I know I hate watching myself back. I never listen really to episodes once I publish them. But when I started the podcast, watching things back helped me notice how often I was saying filler words. I also say the word like a lot. I feel like when I have the camera on, I'm way more conscious. So I don't say like as much. If you've listened to my episodes, maybe you disagree, but I think I do a better job versus when I'm in my everyday life. I know I say like lots of times. So just be mindful of those things. But I think doing a little quick recording can be super helpful. And then something that I think is an amazing thing to do if you are feeling stuck, you're not sure what's going on, reach out to the companies that ghosted you, that denied you, that you made it far in the interview process but you didn't get it. Reach out to them and ask them why. Okay? Ask them why. If they called you for an interview, call them back. Be persistent because you might not know what your blind spots are. And the best way to figure them out is to ask other people. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to reach out. You'll be so surprised what you get. Also, fun fact is that 2 of the members on the Sky Society team that I have hired, they previously interviewed for other roles at Sky Society that I denied them for. And then I enjoyed them so much that when a position opened up that matched their skill set and their personality, I brought them back on. So you always want to keep those relationships. Just because you didn't get a job doesn't mean that it's a no forever, just might mean a no right now. And also, you have no idea what those connections will leave you. So don't forget to also just like check in and ask. You really lose nothing. The worst that can happen is they don't respond. Okay. That's my rapid fire little checklist for you. I'm keeping today's episode short and sweet. So hopefully this gave you some stuff to think about, some things to do when you go home to just really make sure that everything is looking the way that it should be. And really, again, try to do it with your own eye. Try to imagine somebody that's a stranger looking at your LinkedIn, looking at your resume, looking at your portfolio. They know nothing about you. Are you doing a good job talking about yourself and selling yourself in those things? All right, marketing girlies. If there's any other suggestion that you have for solo episodes, leave them in the comments of this video or let me know on LinkedIn or social media or anywhere. I am always trying to make videos or make podcast episodes around topics that you girls want to see and that you have questions in. And I will be back next week with an incredible guest. And I'm so excited for you guys to learn from. And until then, I hope you girls have an amazing rest of your week. Bye, marketing girlies.